Greetings, Health Academy students who are in Samuel Darkwa's composition class. Today's information session is concerning your paper that will be due. I want to give you a good start, so we're going to talk a little bit about the resources in the library and some of the things you can do to make sure that you get credible information and choose a topic that is beneficial and going to be a really good learning experience for you. Okay, the first thing, we're using the library because, as I always tell you, we want the good quality information for your paper when you make an argument. So we want it to be reviewed and edited, and especially with health information, to support your information and arguments in your paper, you need peer-reviewed sources. So that's why I'm taking you into the library today. So there are 3 areas that you can use on the virtual library from home that can help you with this assignment. Course-specific materials, the databases, and I'll show you which ones you should be using, and ebooks. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to visit the CCBC library. Okay, so that is at ccbc.edu. And I know a lot of you have had some instruction before. You go to Campus Life and down to the library. Okay, and there's our chat. You get to hear what I hear from home when students are chatting with me, and please do that. If you get lost in your paper, you need more resources, get on there and chat with the library. If it says away, leave a message and it'll go into my email. We want you to call or email us so we can help you through this assignment. Okay, the first place we're going to go is to research tools. In fact, we're going to go into that tag several times right now. So under research tools, though, we want to go to course-specific resources because there's a couple areas for this assignment where you can find a pool of resources. I always say just don't go out and start wildly Googling when there's a whole launch pad to start you out with your topics here with supportive information. So biology and chemistry, these peer-reviewed journals on the web can help you depending on your subjects. So you might want to start here. These are like collections of information. Other universities call them LibGuides. In addition, you can stop at composition. That's going to tell you how to use databases. I have some handouts there. But specifically, I'd like you to watch Narrowing Your Topic. It shows a way of changing words and doing a search. It's by Shoreline College, and it takes you through honing in on your topic. So please do that. Okay, and the last place in course-specific resources I want you to go is Health Academy students, and you'll notice these are in alphabetical order by discipline, is down to nursing. And that will give you, I have the actual nursing student orientation there. You really don't have to do any of that or the nursing videos, but it shows you what databases, and especially when I said I don't, recommend going right out onto the web and Googling information. These are the places that you can go to find good information on your subjects. I love PubMed. That's one of the most helpful sites for doing any kind of health research out there, and it'll really give you that good foundation. So these are all areas you can go. And as I said, there's some videos peppered in there, but I think if you watch the Narrowing Your Topic video and course-specific resources, and again, that's under composition, and then use some of these recommended databases in course-specific resources. They're databases that have peer-reviewed journal out on the web separate from the library, but this just pulls it together for you. Okay, so the next place I want you to go is back to the resource tools page. So you can just hit resource tools here to go back. So these are a collection of ebooks, but most of that's popular materials, so I really want you to go down to the research databases. And I do have a screen video that just is general database searching, and a PDF for a step-by-step guide there. But you're going to be, there are a lot of different research opportunities here, but you're going to be using EBSCO with your subjects. Now, what you need to do is sign in with your CCBC email. And your password. If you have a problem, you chat to us. Usually it's a reset. Sometimes your Blackboard's working and you can't get into the databases in My CCBC or your email. Call IT 724-480-3399 for a reset. If it's off hours, you can always try to chat with me. I'll give you a general or a generic password. We've been doing that for people, so we'll get you fixed up, okay? Okay, so we're in the databases, and you always want to start by selecting some databases that pertain to your health topics. And I've looked over your topics, and everybody's honing in on specifics. These two are the nursing databases. If you go into healthcare, that's where you will do your research. The first one I clicked was that multidisciplinary database. You also that means there's a lot of subjects in it. There's health, but there's also going to be, as I always say, like sports agency. So you want to stay in those areas, and you don't want to select all the databases because then you get too many hits. Eric can also be helpful with your subjects here too, so you may want to choose that. And mix them up. A lot of times I'll start out with just the 2 nursing databases and then try the other 2 when I'm doing a health subject, especially with the nurses. Okay, so we're going to go in there and we're going to do a search. Now, I show you how I don't want you to do a search. This is starting, I know Professor Darkwa has talked to you about starting out too wide, and this is just showing you what happens. And again, the narrowing your search video will help with this. But see, if you just put in the word drug abuse or substance abuse, I think I did, and there were like 400,000 returns. So you definitely don't want to deal with all of that. So you're not going to start real general, but I want to show you these parameters that you do need. You need full text because you can't just give a summary in your bibliography for Professor Darkwa to see what you utilized for your support of your argument. You also are going to need some you're going to need scholarly materials when you're using with health issues. So you can click that also. And see, once we click full text and scholarly, which means it's peer-reviewed, experts have gone over every word, every chart of the information. So we know automatically that is something that is high quality. The other thing with healthcare, 3 to 5 years. So you want to make sure you do the date slide up to 2015. So when you're looking at drug abuse, you're not doing a historical piece on, opium use in opium dens in British colonial India. You're doing a drug abuse health paper that is pertinent now with recent studies. So you see how we started out with hundreds of thousands, and now you're down to 13,000. But we don't want you to start here. We want you to go to advanced search and start thinking about what is the thrust of what you're looking for as far as information about drug abuse. And I was thinking about this because you know, in our area, one of the things that we're struck with is the heroin epidemic. So what you can do is start to narrow that search, and maybe you want to look specifically at opiates or opioids in your community. Now, I could put opiates, I could put opioids, or opiate, but there is a way when you have words that start out together that you can do this, and that should get all of those. In addition, one of the things that they've done studies on is a lot of people that have addiction problems have a dual diagnosis. So there are mental health issues there. So maybe I want to look at the mental health, sorry guys, mental health issues. We'll just do that as mental health. I'm sorry. Okay, and here we go. Let's get that. It's early morning here in Rochester Township. So I want to do mental health issues. I want to make sure, maybe let's leave that right now so we see where we've come from the tens of thousands. I want to make sure I click those parameters in advanced. Every time I do an advanced search, I want to make sure I have the full text, years, 2020, as long as I'm not doing a historical perspective, and scholarly. Let's just see what we have right now. And again, you can narrow this study down to specifically to females, males, age groups. There's just a multitude of things you can do with these searches. Okay, so you can see that we have about 817 now. So we're bringing it down. It still is not where we want to be. So let's add some more to our searching. So let's look specifically at anxiety as being a component, as one of the mental health disorders when we're looking at. And we have our limiters still on because we've stayed here. So we're getting down to anxiety. There we're seeing some articles about mental health illness in opioid abusers. Some of them are from other countries. And it's becoming more manageable anyway. We have 50. But maybe you want to take this down even more, and I want to look at specifically teens or teenagers. And again, there's smart searching, so you could look at adolescents, young adults, and let's see what we come up with. And we're coming down to 2 there, which isn't really, you know, a large number. So you may want to back out again, change your terms, but we're going through that narrowing process. And then to look at the article, what you do is you open it up, you look at the PDF, you can download it, you can print it. If you print, you definitely want to do the download. And also remember over here, you can cite it. You just want to make sure you're using MLA in this class. You go down here and it is